right, well, welcome everyone to another little session of faith-to-faith parenting, where we just circle up with other parents, and tonight we welcome in Sean and Sarah Ray, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
And also we have James and Allie Swanson.
Hi. Thanks.
And so we're just going to roll through a few questions, and we hope this brings encouragement to many families. So we're going to start with Sean and Sarah. And one of the things that I want to ask Sean and Sarah is that, listening to our kids is really, really important. And sometimes that could be, especially during seasons like this could be really, really hard because basically there's so much going on in the house. Many people are working in the house, and life is very, very busy, and schedules are crazy. And so a lot of school happening and these kinds of things. So Sean and Sarah, what are some ways that maybe you've some tips that you may have for parents to kind of increase our listening skills with our kids?
Yeah, I think kind of with everything, we try to model the behavior we hope them to duplicate. And so in the same way that you want anyone to listen to you, I think we just try to do that to our own children. And so whenever they start talking to us, whether or not it seems important to us, we try really hard to, stop what we're doing. That's the time when if you're typing something, you stop for that minute or whatever it takes, or put your phone down or put your book down if you're reading. Get down on their level if they're little, so that they know that they actually have your attention. And then listen to them. Don't interrupt them. Let them tell you the nonsense story or the really cool thing that they thought of or whatever it is, and hear them out without interrupting, giving them your eye contact just like you would an adult, so that they know that they are important to you. Because if they took the time to say something to you, whether it was a nonsense story or about the really cool worm that they just found, whatever it is, it was important to them. And so I just think it's really important to let them know that you find it important too. And then, if it's something where they're telling a story about how Emery, broke my Lego ship and I'm so upset or whatever it is, I think it's important to validate their emotions when they're expressing emotions to you, instead of just rushing in to kind of solve the problem or tell them why they shouldn't feel that way or what they can do instead or whatever. Just hear the emotions, let them know, yeah, I can imagine how upset that made you feel when she stepped on your ship or whatever it was. And then, then you can offer the words of advice or the wisdom there to speak into that situation. But yeah, I just think letting them know that they are important to you by taking the time to show them that I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to validate what you're saying. And then kind of last thing, I think, restate what they say to you. So if they're telling you something that is important, maybe not about a worm, but something else, you kind of say, well, I'm hearing that you're saying this back to them. And so they know okay, they listened to me, and then they'll move on, whatever it was, or you can address something if it needs to be addressed. But I think just all in all, showing them the same respect that you want everyone else to show you when you take your time to stop and say something to someone. It applies to our children, no matter how old they are.
That's really good. For me, I know it's not natural.
Yeah.
When my kids were growing up, for me to just, I wanted to be really matter of fact and efficient with my time. And so I had just a little discipline that I had is I just had to stop and just breathe, and I just had to go, okay. That just sort of put me in the right frame of mind. I'm not saying I nailed it 100% of the time, but just that little pause, go, okay, this is important. This is a real learning time here. They are valuable. So brought up some really good points. So thanks for sharing, Sarah.